Mrs. Visalaji, working as a social teacher in Trinity Matriculation High Secondary School. In this session, we are going to discuss about 8th standard History Unit 7 Urban Changes During the British Period. The evolution of a town, that means urban, has occurred in a different ways and in a different stage. Town flourished since prehistorical times in India. Towns in India can be classified into ancient towns, medieval towns, and modern towns. And ancient towns. In ancient times, towns emerged in and around the resident places of kings and inns located easily acquiring to sea and rivers for trade. Most of them developed as a administrative, religious and cultural center. Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Allahabad and Madurai as well as known as ancient towns. Medieval towns. During medieval times, most of the towns developed as headquarters of principals and kingdoms. They functioned either fort city or port city. Important among them are Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Agra, and Nagpur. Modern towns, with the arrival of the Europeans, brought about new changes in the development of towns. The first developed some coastal towns such as Surat, Daman, Goa, and Pondicherry. The British, after consolidated their power in India, developed three main cities Mumbai, Chennai, and Calcutta as the administrative headquarters and trading centers. With the extension of domination, they develop new towns depending on its location, purpose, and resolution. The newly developed towns are known differently as hill towns, industrial towns, court towns, railway station towns, and the administrative towns. Unique features of the urbanization under the British. Deindustrialization. In the beginning of the 18th century, the policies of the British provide harmful to the process of urbanization. Later, the economic policies followed by the British lead to the rapid information of Indians' economy into a colonial economy and development of cities which the help of one-way free trade predominance of British Indian manufacturing as industries were dissolved. The effects of this wholesale distribution distractions of the Indian manufacturing industries lead to the reign of the millions of artisans and craftsmen. There was a sudden collapse of the urban handcrafts industries which had been the centuries made India's name in the market of the entire civilized world. Towns and cities long framed for the specialized product gazed continued shrinking market. As a result, old populated manufacturing towns such as Deccan, Musolibad, Surat, and Lucknow lost the previous importance. The entire industrial structures clashed down under stiff competition of imported goods. The traditional industries based in the Indian cities made by the integrated aircraft productions down was destroyed by the industrial revolution. The high imported duties and other restrictions imposed on the import of Indian goods into Britain and Europe to lead to the decline the Indian industries. Thus the India became the agriculture colony of Britain. De-urbanization. The transportation of the India's economy into a colonial one, a market for the manufacturing and sources for the supply of the raw materials to here, industries hit hard and industrials and commercial based on the number of towns. The gradual erections of king's power lead to the dismiss to the town association with the rule. Agra, once in the imperial city in the first quarter of 19th century, was surrounded by extensive rains all around. The native rulers lost the kingdom to the British by means of various policies of the colonial power. Another factors which contributed to the decline of the urban centers of the pre British period was the introduction of the network of railroads in the Indian since 1853. The introduction of the railways resulted in the divisions of trade routes, and every railway stations become a point of export of raw materials. The railways enabled British manufacturing to reach every nook and corner of the country and uprooted the traditional industries in the village of the country. The third one is the growth of new urban centers. British developed new centers to trade like Calcutta, Madras and Bombay on the eastern and western coastal areas. Madras, Bombay and Calcutta cities, which the British largely created and fortified. All these were earlier finished and weaving village. Here they built the homes, shops, and churches as well as the commercial and administrative headquarters. From the mid 18th century, there was a new phase of change as the British guideline acquired the political control after the Battle of Plassey in 1757 and the trade of English East Indian Company expanded. A new trend urbanization begin in the later half of the 19th century as a result of the opening of Surat Canal, introduction of a steam navigation, construction of railways, canals, harbors, growth of factory industries, coal mining, tea plantation, banking, shipping and insurance, and changes in the network of trade are reflected in the development of the urban center and port cities. British arrival in India for trading Madras, Calcutta and Bombay become the important port. They played important role in the trade. These cities became the prominent commercial area with a tall European style building. The Indian Company, built its factories and fortified cantonment towns. The British occupied the Indian territories and political power by the military force. So they needed strong military camps and established the cantonments. The cantonments were thus an entirely new kind of urban center. Army people began to live in these places and gradually they were grown up in a city. For example, Kanpur, Lahore. Hill stations Hill stations were distinctively features of colonial urban development. Although hill stations were not unknown to the founding by the British in India, they were few and had a small population and were often visited for the specific purpose. For a Srinagar was a Mughal concentration center, and Kedarnath and Badarnath River were the Hindu religious center. The British common, coming from the cold temperature climate, found the Indian summer season in hospitality. So the cool climate of Indian hills were seen as protectivity and advantage. It protected the Europeans from the hot weather, and so they built by the alternative capital in cool area like Darjeeling was the alternate of Calcutta, and the alternate of Delhi is Daharlan. Hill station become the place for the building troops, gathering friends, and launching and campaign. Hill stations were developed both in the north and south India. Simla, and Darjeeling, Uttarakhand, and Kodaikanal. Simla was found during the Darjeeling was versed from the ruler of Sikkim in 1835. These hill stations were also developed in Santonism and soldiers for the rest of the recover for illness. The introduction of railways made hill stations more accessible. Railway towns. Railway towns were also the types of urban settlement and were established in 1853 after the introduction of railways by the British. By the nature of a railway transport, all the towns were located on the plains. Example Delhi, Mumbai, and Calcutta. Creation of Mussolini Pattinam and Corporation. The municipalities and corporation. The development of local government in the British India may be tracked in three distinct phases. First phase, municipal government in India has been in existence since 1688 with the formation of Madras Municipal Corporation with the mayor. Sir Joseph Child, one of the district of East Indian Company, was responsible for the formation of the corporation. The Charter Act of 1793 established um, municipal administration in the three presidency town. According to the provision of the Act of 1850, municipalities were formed the Northwestern Frontier Provision. Bombay is a Lord Mayor a famous resolution of 1870 entered the affair opportunities for the development the self-government. Second phase is a ribbon resolution on the local self-government was the landmark of the history of local self-government. So ribbon is rightly regarded as a father of a local self-government in India and his resolution is Magna Carta of the local government. The third phase, the Government of India Act of 1919 introduced the prevention. The Government of India Act 1935 introduced the provincial autonomy with the attainment of independence in 1947. India had its unique opportunity of making and modeling local government to meet the needs of a free nation. Administration of the presidency town. Towards the close and 18th century, the parliamentary status authoritated the Governor General to appoint the justice of the peace in these towns. After various and trial system of government was evolved for the three presidency towns which had the essential features like a large cooperation with the elected members, a strong independent executive authority with the adequate safeguards for seeking accounts and statutory prevention for the performance of essential duties such as sanitation, the water supply and collections of revenue, etc. Origin and growth of Madras. The beginning of the city of Madras goes back to the earliest stage of British commercial enterprise in India. The English East Indian Company was started in 16,000 AD. 12 years later, the factory was laid in Surat on the west coast. Subsequently, the search for the textiles brought British merchants to have a port on the east coast. The English, after some effort, secured the privilege of building a factory at Mussolini. It was well protected from the monsoon wind, but the Mussolini was in the theory of a famine in spite of every assurance of the protections. English trade did not travail that place. Then the English traders looked after a new site, and Francis Day, the member of the Mussolini Path Council and a chief of the Armagon factory, among the voyage of exploiting in 1637 with the view of choose a site for the new settlement. At last, he was given in offer the choosing Mussolinabad and Francis Day in Spain, the place and found it favorable to set up factory. The official grant for the land was given in the Dharmala Venkatapati Nair, the dispute of Raja Chandragiri, and gave a British piece of land between Kumur River and Egmont. In 1639, the deed was signed in the English East Indian Company. Francis Day, accompanied by his enterprises, his barrier Dharmapala, and superior by his Francis Day, and Andwa, he is a chief of Mussolinabad factory, and the trade post and fort the Mussolinabad in 1639. The forfeited the settlement came to be known the Fort St. George settlement. It is otherwise the refers to as the wild town, while the nearby villages inhabited by local population was called as a back town. As a collectively, the white towns and in the black towns were called Madras. Madrasapattinam. And Dharmala Venkatapati gave the English the Grand Madrasapattinam. He was under the counsel of Venkatapati Rahulu, the control of Raja Chandragiri, and Venkatapati was succeeded by Srirangargar in 1642. He issued a new grant of English in 1645 called Srirangapattinam. Venkatapati described the name Chinnapattinam should be given to the new fort of settlement of English after the father Chinnappa Nayaka. But the English prefer to call the two united towns by the names of Musolipattinam, making of Chennai. Chennai was once in a group of villages set admin Pam fronting paddy fields until the two English East Indian Company merchants visited there. Rajamal, Chandagiri Palace, where Sir Francis Day of East Indian Company was granted land in 1639 in order to set up a factory which later came to be known as Madras. First factory was compiled on Sir George Day, 23rd April 1640, and named Fort St. George. Day and cargo were the jointly responsible for the construction of Fort St. George. This was the East Indian Company's principal settlement until 1774. The Madras Presidency was an administrative subdivision which were refers to the Madras Provincial. The Madras Presidency during the British region has covered a vast expansions of the southern part of the India that encompassed modern day Tamil Nadu, the Lakshadweep Island, northern Kerala, and coastal Andhra district of Karnataka, and various districts of southern Odisha. After independence in 1947, the Madras Presidency became the state of Madras, and the other regions that were the part of the Eastwell and Presidency were constitution in separate states of Andhra Pradesh, Kerala, Mysore under the States Recognized Act 1956. Later on, 1969, the state of Madras was registered in Tamil Nadu. On 17th July 1996, Madras was officially renamed as Chennai. Bombay. Bombay was instance seven islands. It was under the control of the Portuguese from 1534 onwards. Portuguese king gave the dowry to Charles II of England when he married the former sister in 1661. King leased it to the East Indian Company. The city of Bombay began to grow when the East Indian Company started using Bombay as its main port of Western India. In 1687, the East Indian Company transferred its headquarters for Surat to Bombay, Calcutta. In 1690, the English merchants found the settlement at Suratnath. In 1698, they succeeded the Zamindars region over Calcutta and then Gobindapur. The company established the Fort William in Calcutta. Calcutta became the presidency with the governor and a council to manage its affairs. So, in this session, we discussed about the British Empire gradually consolidating the establishment of elaborate spread structure of administration with an imperial capital, provincial capital, and a district headquarters. The new rulers brought new officials, new instructions, and a new structure to these towns with the canton, police stations, jail, treasury, public garden, police office, school dispensary, and above the all municipal committees. Thank you.